Right. Okay. So yeah, Yorkshire Cricket College Business BTEC presentation. The first thing I'm going to do is show you a short video, which is only a minute long, and it kind of just encapsulates the college in a few sort of fun graphics and shows you what some of our students get up to.
Chairs Club. Really flying the music. Okay. And it's so packed in here.
There you go. Short video there. Okay, so like I say, the presentation this evening is going to be an introduction to STL, who provide our education provision. Paul's going to give you an overview of the BTEC course itself, what it entails, what it amounts to in terms of A-levels, some of the potential pathways that you can go to from an educational point of view. Look at an example timetable, then Chris is going to go over the cricket, what that looks like, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the work experience, and then we'll go over the next steps following this presentation, and then it's a chance to ask any questions that you might have over the course of the call. So I'm just going to hand over to Paul now to give us a bit of an overview about STL and the BTEC Business Level 3.
Thanks, Nick. Welcome, everyone. As Nick said then, it would have been brilliant to see everyone in the stadium, but such is life at the moment. We've probably called it at the right time, but at the wrong time. Give us a couple of weeks and we could have been in there. So SCL is an independent training provider. We were formed in 2000, so this is our 21st year as a company. And since that time, and I've been with SCL since 2016 now, and the growth of the company has been absolutely exponential. It really has taken off. So we work with over 70 academies up and down the country, fundamentally in sport. So it's not just cricket, and we work with football clubs, rugby clubs as well, and that's diversifying into now dance and boxing. And the reason we're successful, or we believe we're successful, is because of what's on the screen now. So our vision, our aim is to positively impact the lives of 1 million young people across the country. And we're well on our way to doing that. And our mission is to create a legacy in the communities that we serve. Now, that's only possible if we work with the right partner. You know, that's not possible if we're working with someone who we don't feel shares our values and shares our ethos. So that's why the partnership with Yorkshire Cricket works so well, because we have that same passion for helping young people achieve where they want to get to. Okay, thanks, Nick. But as I say, our partnership began a couple of years ago now with Yorkshire Cricket. With any partnership that we have, the idea is simple, is that we want to combine the learner's passion for sport, be it cricket, football, rugby, with a full-time education and development program. So when they leave after their 2 years of completing the program with us, they're ready for the world of work, they're ready for university, they're ready for their next steps. And we are a little bit unique and we are a little bit different from how colleges generally adopt this form of learning combined with sport. And we'll go on to that in the next couple of slides. But we deliver the education and Yorkshire Cricket deliver the sporting aspect. But it's not so much black and white as we're education, their sport. It's very much a partnership. It's very much a cohesive experience across the whole of the 2 years. And the reason it's like that is to ensure that your experience as a learner is the best it could possibly be. We've got a lot of experience, obviously, in the sport and sector at the minute. In fact, we're about 50% of the industry at the moment as a company. And now we're diversifying into the business BTEC world. Thanks, Nick. So in terms of your program, so while you're studying your qualification, you're obviously going to be a part of the cricket world, which Chris will go on to in a moment. Nick, as he said, is going to speak about the work experience opportunities, which is really exciting, actually, and one of the reasons why we've selected Yorkshire for their fantastic network in terms of how we can build this programme to be better than you will get at a college. And it says there, if applicable, English and or maths. So your education is going to be a BTEC level 3 extended diploma in business. So that is equivalent to 3 A levels and up to 168 UCAS points, depending on the grades you get overall. The cricket will be delivered by Chris and his team in partnership with the college. Now, we do say, ideally, you'll have passed your maths and English qualification to come on the diploma in sport. Obviously, in this current environment, that's very much up in the air, but we'll get onto that in a minute. And if you have any questions around that, I can obviously answer those for you. So don't worry about that if you're thinking I need maths or English. So what is the extended diploma? As I said before, we're a little bit different than colleges. And the reason we've decided to launch the extended diploma in business is we've seen the success of our sports programs in terms of how we approach the qualifications and how we approach the 2 years of learning from the learner's point of view. Our delivery is very much learner-centric. Now, our passion is developing young people. So it's not just a case of sitting in a classroom in front of a lecturer, learning about the different fundamentals of the qualification. We take a much more holistic approach and combine that with theoretical knowledge that you'll need. So it's easy to just get through a qualification and say, this is what you need to pass an exam. But is that preparing you for your later life? Is that preparing you for your university career? Is that preparing you for your business career, wherever you want to see to? And that's what the whole ethos is around this program, is that we want to give you the knowledge, the skills, and the understanding needed for you to take the next step in whatever career pathway you want to choose. So we are quite different. We take a different approach to the way we model our education program. It's very much project style based. It's not so much just assignment based. So we're preparing you for what happens in 4 years' time, not just what happens for your 2 years now. So it's not just about the fundamental theory surrounding the curriculum. It's about those further skills that you'll need within your life and your world of work to progress. So here's what you will get overall. So it's a full-time 2-year program. So up to 168 UCAS points available. So that's dependent on what you come away with in terms of how you pass. So your pass rate can be, you'll get a triple awarding system if you've never done a BTEC before. So at the end of the 2 years, you can walk away with a pass, pass, pass. And that can go all the way up to distinction star, distinction star, distinction star. So pass, 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 regardless, even if it's distinction star all the way, it's still the equivalent to 3 A levels. So the determinant factor in the BTEC is what standards you're on. So a pass is not worth as many points as a merit, which is not as worth as many points as a distinction. And throughout your whole journey over 2 years, you will have a plan in place so you can see and you can record the UCAS points you're accumulating unit by unit. So you can give yourself a predicted UCAS value at the end of the program of 168 points, which is the highest you can possibly get. And then that will get broken down unit by unit. You're on target, below target, above target, etc., etc. So we break it up into different components. Obviously, fundamentally, you have to pass the qualification. So we do try and split it up into different parts. This is on the new model specification. So there are exams attached to some of the units which you have to pass. The rest of the program is broken down into portfolio and coursework and presentations. And it will be different. It won't be monotonous. It won't be you have an assignment, then you have another assignment, then it's an exam. Think in your head almost like an apprentice. style. So they show the apprentice, they get projects that they have to complete in order to be successful. That's our approach as well, is that we combine the vocational elements of the program with how we operate inside the classroom. So as we said then, Nick's going to speak about the work experience opportunities available to you, because we want to combine your classroom-based work with actual real-life work experience in business, in different aspects of business, because we don't know whereabouts in the world of business you want to go, because it's so vast. But we'll give you opportunities to see how aspects of the course relate to different businesses in the real world. Thanks, Nick. So here's just some of the examples of the units that you're going to study. Obviously, over an extended diploma, there are 19 units in total over the 2 years. Now, in any BTEC that you have to study, you have to take mandatory units. So they are going to be without the first year, they'll be delivered. But we're trying to pick units that are relevant at the minute and are going to be prevalent in future years to come. So, for example, there you can see, international business, digital marketing, event management. These are parts of the business world that are only going to grow and grow and grow. So we're thinking about your pathways. We're not just giving you fundamental, this is how to start a business, this is what a business is. They will be built into that, but we're trying to make the units as best we can applicable to your future life. Calculation and communication. This is essentially English and maths. So as I said before, if you don't pass English or maths, it is compulsory if you're continuing in education to repeat that qualification. And we rebranded this over 1.5 years ago to communication and calculation. The reason is, we'll call a spade. Maths and English can be quite boring. They can be boring topics, and we find that with our learners, it can be a little bit dull, hence why a lot of people don't pass the subject. So yes, we still have to teach to the specification. We use to pass a GCSE, but we've tailored it so it almost mimics how we deliver our BTEC assignment as well, in that it's a problem solving, it's a project based off you to be able to resolve situations that you'll find yourself in day-to-day life and in the business life as well. And believe it or not, I asked the question when I was in school, when am I ever going to use algebra in the real life? Our English and maths teachers actually have the answer to that. So this is delivered by specialists, subject specialists. So you'll get a subject specialist maths teacher, subject specialist English teacher. So it won't be the BTEC teaching these subjects if you need them. And we found that this rebrand and this approach has really, really helped our learners engage more in English and maths. Some of them are actually excited to go into lessons, believe it or not, because of this new approach that we've adopted. Thanks, Nick. So in terms of what you will get in terms of your overall experience, this is a very, very exciting program. We know, sports has been so successful, and particularly with Yorkshire, our success rates are as high as anywhere in the country in any college from that aspect. But what you'll get is obviously a virtual learning platform, which is going to be Microsoft Teams, which I'll come on to in a moment. As part of your program of study, you will get a 1.5-hour tutorial every week. So this is covering different topics, be it, safe sex, alcohol, drug awareness, and we'll also include sort of UCAS. We'll include UCAS, and that'll sort of go from October to sort of December time. And with it being business as well, we'll look at job applications, job opportunities. Parents, if you're on the call, we do hold parents' evenings throughout the academic year. So we try and hold 1 per term. We may reduce that down to 2 per term. The first one in the first year will be more of a consultation, just to see how the learners are fitting in, how they're getting on, any problems from your end. And then session 2 and session 3 of the parents' evening, we really look at the progress. We break down how the learners are getting on unit by unit, how they're progressing in English and maths if they need English and maths. And also we'll support you in terms of finances, so student discount cards, bursaries, transport discounts, etc. So this is just an example timetable. This will not be your timetable. So there's just a couple of things to note. Is you can see Wednesdays is chalked off. Now that is the same across all programs of study that we offer. So we call it match day because obviously primarily we have a lot of football academies, and in colleges and universities, Wednesday is a match day. And that's also an admin day for our staff. So that is when they'll tend to get all their marking up to date, all their administrative duties up to date. And we also run CPD sessions for our staff to upskill them with various topics. Again, learner-centric topic CPD to make sure your experience is the best possible experience it can be. Now, again, note the English and maths, if you pass that, so if you've got a grade 4 or above, that will not be applicable to you on the timetable. So you might get a couple of hours. It's not a day off, it's not time off. That will be filled with something. Instead, it could be work experience. It could be, if you're a merit-based learner, a workshop that'll get your work from merit to distinction. But it just means you won't have to attend that lesson. If this comes out, if the timetable comes out, and it's got English and maths on it and you've passed, just know it won't be applicable to you. So that's an example. So it's 4 out of the 5 days that you are in education and training. This is something that we developed, obviously, last year when the switch was flipped and the world stopped. We had to adapt, and we had to adapt really quickly to this ever-changing environment. And I say fortunately, it wasn't a fortunate situation, but we were already using online platforms to deliver English and maths lessons. Obviously, as a company, we are quite big. We've got learners from Newcastle right the way down to the bottom of London. So we needed to engage all learners. And this was the platform we decided on, Microsoft Teams. And we, again, rebranded what we did, and we say that we innovate to educate. And this was very innovative from our end because we've allowed our own virtual learning environment to be based on one platform. So Microsoft Teams, it's really, really easy to use. It was built for this purpose. So it was built in mind when Apple were doing Apple Classroom. Microsoft wanted to get in the mix, and they built it with this in mind, that it could be a classroom platform. And we found it such a valuable tool for us this year in terms of engagement, in terms of accessibility for learners. It's a real, real good platform. So everything for your 2 years will be based on Microsoft Teams. So you'll have access to online lessons, whether that's English or maths. And majority, obviously, we're now going back face-to-face, but we will have some elements of the program still online. Just due to the ever-changing world, this is now going to be prevalent going through 5, maybe 10 years, where we're going to see a lot more virtual experiences occurring. So we will upskill you on how to work virtually. You will be in a hub. You'll be in a Yorkshire Business Hub, and everything you need for your whole 2 years is in this one central place. So all your assignments are there, lesson resources is there, the feedback on your assignments is delivered through here. You'll have one-to-one meetings, and you'll review those meetings on something called Pro Portal, which we use to log your progress, and we can give parents access to Pro Portal as well. So this is everything from attendance to progress in lessons, whether you've been naughty boys and girls and you've been shouted at and you're not going to tell your parents, it all gets logged on here. And it's a really, really good platform. And you'll be given full sort of coaching on this within your induction week. So, as I mentioned, this is the first time we are running BTEC in sports. The BTEC in business. See, I've got sports on my head. SCL are predominantly a sports-based provider. But we do recognise we need to diversify. You know, there are a lot of learners that maybe don't want to go to college. They don't want to go and do A-levels. That's their only option for this type of qualification at the moment. But that's why we're diversifying, and we have been massively successful in what we do. It's just a shame, I was telling Nick before, we have just come out of an Ofsted inspection last week. It was dropped on us on Friday, and then on Monday they were in. Obviously all online, they couldn't come out and visit sites, and I just wish it would have been released, because we're itching to tell people the results of that Ofsted inspection, and we will share it with everyone as soon as it comes out. But the key message coming through that from what the inspectors told us is that they could just feel the passion that we have for what we do, and you can't fake that. You can't fake passion. You know, you can see right through it if someone's pretending, and that was from top to bottom up. So all our tutors, they interviewed quite a lot of tutors, and that was the key word coming out. They are so passionate about helping learners, and at the very top, at board level, you know, they were so passionate about helping our partners, helping our learners progress, helping our staff become the best possible people they can be. And we do feel that the pathways we can give you, combined with what Yorkshire Cricket can give you as that partnership, will stand you in the best possible stead for your future career in business and sport. In terms of progressions, again, there's lots of fantastic opportunities. Obviously, university, we put that first. And notoriously, you know, with Yorkshire, this is pathway number one. Learners come in, and when we interview learners, it's, yeah, they want to progress, they want to go to higher education. I mean, we can give you the stats of how many learners. It's very, very rare a learner doesn't get their first choice when they apply to university with Yorkshire Cricket. And it'll be exactly the same. So this is an extended diploma, 3 A-levels. If that's the pathway you want to go, that is proof, you know, we can do this and you can get there. Obviously, employment, this could be an exciting one for yourselves, obviously to do with business and the opportunities you're going to get as part of the programme. You might want to go straight into employment. So again, throughout the 2 years, we will always be bringing this back. You know, where do you want to go next? What is the progression? It's not good enough for us anymore to just get you a distinction star in your qualification. We need to know that once you've got that distinction star, you are going to exactly where you want to go. So we do offer different apprenticeships too. And obviously the cricket is there if that is your passion and you want to continue playing to whatever level you want to get to. In terms of entry criteria, it does vary, and obviously we have to see what GCSE results they hold for us. But usually we say 4 GCSEs, obviously grade 4 to 9, including English and or maths. Now again, this year, you know, that is not set in stone. If you don't have that, it's wave goodbye, go somewhere else. You know, we appreciate this is a year that has been so different to anything else that we've ever seen. All I will say is, if you think, oh no, I just do not think I will hit this criteria, do not walk away and think it's done and dusted. That's what the process is for. That's what the application process is for. But this is the sort of general consensus of what we expect in terms of coming onto an extended diploma programme.
Thanks, Paul. Really comprehensive overview of that. Obviously, any questions at the end, please, you know, note them down. Feel free. You completely agree with everything that Paul said there. Obviously, I think we obviously run the sport program at the moment, but in terms of the work experience side of things, which we'll go on to, but cricket is a business as much as it is a sport. And if you look at the departments within the club, they're pretty much business departments. You know, there's players and coaches clearly, but not everyone is a player or a coach. There's far more to it. So just got a quick video for you now of our classroom. So we were lucky enough this year to move into the Carnegie Pavilion, which is the building in the background there. You can see faded. So we're on the 4th floor in the Carnegie Pavilion with a balcony overlooking the ground. And these are the classrooms that you'll be learning in. I'm not sure what we're going to do when cricket starts being played outside. Shut the blinds, I think. Yeah, they're great facilities. They were used by Leeds Beckett University before they vacated it, and we were lucky enough to be able to take over those classrooms, which is been a massive boost for our tutors and the students. It's an incredible place to go every day and learn. So hopefully you'll get the opportunity to be sat there and enjoy the view. Just a quick one around the finance around the college. So the college is fully government funded. There's no cost to attend college at all. The only costs associated with the course are like uniform, which is your training clothing. We go direct to Grey Nichols, who are our kit suppliers for that. Fantastic product. I think the majority of our students, buy a bulk order to start with for around about the £200 mark, and that lasts for the entire length of their course. Unless the fitness really kicks in and you need to buy some smaller options, then no, you should be fine for the 2 years with that. The kit lockers we have in there, we appreciate, obviously, people aren't just coming from, they don't live 5 minutes away, so people have to get public transport. So there is kit lockers in the cricket centre that you can hire over the course of the 2 academic years for just £100. And then obviously your playing equipment is your own, as are your travel costs. There's a pre-season tour that we run on an annual basis, which Chris will go on to talk about in a bit. That's purely optional, but we like to give parents as much notice as that as possible. It's for our year 2 students, so you kind of, you'll get advanced notice of that, but it tends to run around March time in the second year of your course. And then I think Paul mentioned it earlier, but learners, some of our learners are means tested, can be means tested for a bursary if the income meets the threshold, and that can help with kit and travel expenses. So yeah. Right, I'm going to hand over to Chris, and he's going to tell you all about the cricket provision at the college.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Paul. Great that. And Robbo, just continuing on from the facilities. Yes, we are based, very lucky to be based at an international stadium. Obviously, we benefit from the indoor cricket school. That is not the one in the ground itself. It's just over the road. The old one, if you like. Still used by every professional squad that trains at the ground, male, female, academy, internationals when they come into town. So it is state of the art, bowling machines, all the video analysis that we do, it is all there under one roof. So whether you're in the classroom or in the cricket facility, you've got the best in the business. Our team of coaches at Pro Coach look after everything to do with college. We will from time to time get guests involved. But predominantly the day-to-day will be Dave Wainwright, Matt Green as the head coaches. I'm sure a few of you may be aware of them guys already. Dave's got 10 years county cricket under his belt. Matt's been doing this professionally since he was 18. Both of them currently in with the Yorkshire first team squad, helping out for their preparation for the season. We've then got Stu Guy, county age group under 15 coach. Kieran Rogers and Ben Holderness, who also run county age group teams at a younger end, and are both doing their level 3s now. So you are very, very in capable hands. Safe in the knowledge that everything's covered from the cricket element through to the physical stuff. Kieran's a strength and conditioning coach as well, so he heads up that side of it for us. We leave no stone unturned in how we prepare the body, the mind, and obviously the cricket as well. Being on site, we're very privileged to get to watch and train alongside. If you've been to Headingley, there's a cage, 4 lanes, and then down the middle, and then another 4 lanes. And quite often during this time of year, especially when things ramp up for the pros, we find ourselves training alongside the professionals, which is awe-inspiring to say the least. But sometimes we get the benefit of them coming to coach us, and we also get asked to help them out. So predominantly with bowling. So if we've got some strong bowlers, we'll be asked to go and net bowl. Obviously, all this is in a normal world where COVID doesn't exist. So I'm fast forwarding my mind already to this time next year, where hopefully we've got a much cleaner outlook on life. You will receive your own training program. We will try and teach you how to train so that when you're not with us, you're capitalizing on every minute of cricket that you can get. So we do some player-led learning and a lot of player feedback as well. So we're also looking for the next batch of coaches. Speaking of careers after cricket, we have taken a couple of guys on from the first cohort of college students. Fantastic option. They're just sprungboard straight from college into coaching. We've known those guys a lot of years. We trust them, and therefore that process was in place for them. And we are utilising the Kickstart programme potentially to look after some more in the near future as well. So that is a genuine option. It's not just something that we say could happen. It has happened, and it will happen again, no doubt. That's male and females that we'll be looking at for that as well. In terms of the training programme, we say bespoke because we're not sure that there's anyone else that can deliver what we can in the environment that we can do it. So if we need to do some very short one-to-one work, we can do. If we need to deliver the group work with specialist coaches, we can do. If we need to borrow the centre for some extra time, shall we say, we can do. Our office is based in the centre, so it's manned all the time. Regarding how much cricket you actually get, we're fully aware that a lot of the people on this call will be coming for the cricket first and the student part second. No offence, Paul, but that does tend to happen. So we call it student athlete, which means the only problem is if the student part goes, if you are pulling your weight, the first thing to go is the cricket, because we use that as the crux. So from a parental point of view, you might be pleased to know that we've got everything in place to keep the students motivated and on track in the classroom, or the first thing to go will be the cricket, unfortunately. The strength and conditioning sessions actually take place on site as well. We are hopeful, although we've got to come out of COVID to get clearance on this, but there's the old gym in the East Stand that the professionals were using for the last 10 or 15 years, I believe, since that stadium got built. And we're hopeful that we can either take that over, or there's a new gym being built in Headingley that we will also partner up with, so they will get memberships up there to train. So we're trying to remove the S&C away from the indoor cricket school, so that when you're there, it's literally just cricket that you're doing. So you'll get up to 6 hours a week. And what we're really pushing for, which we weren't allowed to do this year, but Nick and I are absolutely determined to make this happen post-COVID, is that we can actually create a performance squad. So it won't be for everyone, but we will pull together the best talent at the college, and they will train together as a not a professional squad, but as a performance squad, as we're going to call it. We would like to think that from there we can springboard some county cricketers out of it. We've had 2 onto the academy, onto the Yorkshire Academy. We've got the 3 females that should, I'm saying, I don't want to speak out of school, but they should make it into the Diamonds Academy. And they all represented Yorkshire first team last year. And then we've got another one who's progressed, not onto the Yorkshire Academy, but onto Leicester Academy last year. So he was successful in securing a contract. So he's now a paid professional cricketer straight from college. So it's a good track record so far. But everyone receives the same treatment, whether they're going to go on hopefully to a professional career, or they're just going to stay in club cricket like a lot of us do. They will all get the same treatment and care. We try and look after every format of the game. We want to look after the person. We want to look after every format of the game that they may play. So we appreciate some players thrive in T20. That's fine. We will prepare for that. Same for the 50 over format and the longer version of the game as well. Once we're allowed to do so, we will be doing some overnight stays and playing some 2-day cricket, but we're not sure that'll be this season due to COVID, obviously. The timetable said Wednesdays was match day. So again, we couldn't do it because of COVID, but what we had planned for this winter was a house competition, twofold. It'd be indoor and outdoor. So once we can cross the bubbles, the houses were actually picked, but the educational bubbles meant that we couldn't actually cross them over. So every Wednesday, it'll either be performance squad training if you get into that one, or towards Christmas, once we've done the prep work, we'll have an indoor element of the house competition that will then go outdoor in April, May time. And if we have time and we can do it, we'll have a 50 over format and a T20 format. So lots to play for in terms of internal competition, which means we can get a lot of game time for each and every pupil, which is something that obviously we're dead keen on. Something that a lot of schools tend not to be able to offer, which is a massive advantage for us, is everyone will get game time, and everyone will get the same amount of training time. It's not just if you don't make it into that first team, you're cast out and you don't benefit from cricket training at school. Everyone will get the same. In terms of anything else to do with the cricket training, I'm more than happy now at this stage, Robbo, whilst we're on it, just to open up to any questions at all that people have got about the training before we go on to the possibilities and tours and stuff like that. I realise that the training is something that people may have questions on, so please feel free to fire away now, guys. No, all happy? All right. Tour, the jewel in the crown, if you like. A lot of people look at this and think it's just a cricket trip. It is for the pupil. It's about 2-3 years later they realise that it actually wasn't about the cricket. It was about growing up and life experiences. So as Nick said, for the last 2 years we've done South Africa. Unfortunately, the year twos this time might get the highlights of North Yorkshire if we ever get a tour off the ground this year, but they won't be travelling abroad, unfortunately. They've missed out. They're going to be the forgotten group. And next February, March time, we're going to be looking to go to Barbados, who have controlled the virus brilliantly. And we have a very strong hold out there already with a tour company. So I'd like to think that we can get that off the ground, and the destination for 2022 will be Barbados. We will return to South Africa. I firmly believe that they do a lot of things right over there from a sporting front. The challenge, the pride they put into it, their training methods, their dedication to the sport, the weather, obviously. So that as a life experience is something that we will try and do. When we go there, we visit Table Mountain, Robben Island, obviously to see the cultural side and what happened in South Africa ever so recently. We visit a township, or we go and do a coaching session at a local school to see, I'm not going to say how the other half live, but just to show how privileged we are. And that's what I mean about the life experiences. And all of a sudden, the students start to see how privileged we actually are here. And I'd like to think that you'll get a different child back, potentially a little bit more grateful. The tours have come in for the same sort of price year on year. We will try and keep the cost down as much as possible. But it is very much a bonding process. I wish that we could do this in year one to benefit them and use as a springboard for the rest of the college life, but we don't have the turnaround time from say the Christmas term. So that's why we use it as a year two. Pat on the back, you're almost free. Once we get home, you've got a bit of a term time and then a good cricket season to look forward to. So that's what we use the tour for. Obviously, Paul will be pleased to know that only students up to date with work can partake in tour. So that again is another carrot to dangle there.
If you need any more spaces, I'll happily go.
Funnily enough, Paul, we're never short of volunteers. Yeah. So if anybody's got any questions about touring or anything like that, or anything to do with the cricket now, please feel free to shout. But yeah, so the tours have come in all in for $2,000 or less, Colin. They've been in and around that mark. And so we've done Potchefstroom, Cape Town, Barbados, quote, yet to be finalised. But the first one without the excursions that was again in and around, that was about 1850. He had a couple of excursions to add on. So I'm confident it'll be in and around that again. So how that works is just so your financial planning. We give 12 months off, 11 months notice. So around April time. So come back after the Easter break, and we would let you know the destination. We'd let you know the price. We'd then need a deposit to secure the flight, and then you would get what we've done installments all the way leading up to 10 weeks out from the trip. So roughly up until Christmas. And then final payments due, and then we travel in March as pre-season tour.
Brilliant. Cheers, Chris. If anyone thinks of any questions before the end of the Zoom, there's going to be time at the end. So, but yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, so just moving on to the work experience side of things, as Paul highlighted so in such detail, we don't just look to get the students in 2 years down the line, off you go, good luck. one of our main duties we feel is to make sure that the students, when they're under our care, are opened up to every single opportunity they might be interested in. So, and I remember when I was 16, 17 years old, the world just seemed massive. I couldn't see the wood for the trees, and there was no one given any options. And so we try and really give our students as many options as they can. And we try to do that through the Yorkshire Cricket departments and our related networks within Yorkshire Cricket. So, looking at the business BTEC, you've got strong elements in marketing, event management. Those two areas are massive in the club. We've had a meeting recently with a company called Sodexo. You may have heard of. They're a national company. They run all the events around the new Emerald stand at Headingley. There is going to be a lot of opportunities with them to go through some work experience and probably paid work experience as well. Ultimately, within the events sort of sector, whether that be front of house, behind the scenes, there's going to be opportunities there, which is really exciting, and obviously a great chance for you to get work experience, but also get paid for doing that work experience, which I think is an absolutely ideal setup. Obviously, other areas within Yorkshire Cricket, you've got the commercial team, you've got the marketing team. There's such a large business network built within a professional sports club that we can tap into. We can bring in speakers. So, we could talk to our CEO would be one of our speakers, Mark Arthur, to talk about his career in business, how he's got to where he has done. There's just such a breadth of opportunities that we can give you guys, and an insight into how to be successful in business and the different avenues that you can take, to have that success, whether that be going on to university, study a degree, or whether that be going straight into a career, like we talked about. That might be going into a career and working your way up the ladder, to success, or management, whatever that might look like. There's just a lot of opportunities, and we provide that now for our current sports students, which the work experience that they do might look a bit different to the ones that the business BTEC students might look to do. But ultimately, we have a track record of placing students in really worthwhile work experience, provision, and they learn so much from it, and I think it has helped shape the pathway that they've chosen, whether that be their university degree or a career, or moving on to do an apprenticeship in a certain sector. We really feel that what we can offer within the stadium can be hugely beneficial to you. So yeah, it's has anyone got any questions around the work experience? Like I said, the breadth of opportunities that we can look at, really is quite wide, and we can absolutely relate that to the different modules in the course and the different interests that each individual student has. No probs. So we'll just move on. Final part of the presentation, really, back to Paul about what's next and how do you go about going through the next stage of enrolment.
Yeah, cool. Cheers, Nick. Yeah, obviously, it may be a bit of information overload. It's a lot to take in, but obviously you've got Nick's details, you've got everyone's details. If there's anything, even if you can't think of a question now, please don't hesitate. If it's tomorrow, if it's next week, ask away. Obviously, Nick's got my details. I'm happy for them to go to anyone they need to go to. But in terms of your next steps, so what we do is we direct learners to this link. So we are scl.co.uk/Yorkshire-cricket. On that link, you'll have a couple of options. You will have an inquire button. So you will see BTEC, Extended Diploma in Business, and you'll have inquire, and you'll have apply now. Now, the inquiry button is just to let us know that you're interested. Obviously, being on this call, we know you are already interested. So when you click the apply now, that will just ask for a set of details from you, just so we can have your information on our system. And then you will get a call from ourselves where we'll arrange an interview with the tutor. Now, during that interview, it's not like a job interview where you can, if you don't have any answers, you're not going to come on the course. It's for us to get to know you. So when we are talking about progressions, when we're talking about moving on after the course, these are the questions the tutors will be asking. So, why are you interested in the course? Where do you want to go to when you leave? what opportunities have you had or have you been exposed to? So we can start building the picture of who you are now. So come September, when you begin the program, we're already ahead of the game. So if you go to that link and then go to apply now, submit your details, and then we can be in contact to arrange an interview with one of our tutors.
Paul, I believe that a couple of people on the call have probably already done that. So I presume that we can just say that they will hear from SCL just to arrange the interview.
Yeah.
If you've already been through that process, which I believe that a couple have, then the next steps will be wait to hear from SCL just around the interview.
Yeah, we will. We'll have all your details there, and it will be in the coming day or week where we'll contact you. Yeah,
fantastic. Thanks, Paul. The last thing, we're just going to play your final video just before we open up for any questions. This is a video of our set of graduates who graduated from the NCFE in sport, or the BTEC in sport as it was then. And just so that you hear from a couple of people, but just around the general ethos of the college and how it's helped them in their education.
Just finished our second year as a college, so this is our first graduating cohort. I know some of the students are going to university, some have got careers lined up already, apprenticeships. So yeah, massively rewarding for us, and great to sort of see the impact that the college has had on their lives.
I didn't actually think that I'd be able to get the qualifications that I have and the grades that I did before even coming to the college. I didn't really like school to begin with, but coming to college has made me have a different sort of look on education, and I've really enjoyed my time.
This kind of environment for education and for learning is fantastic. And he's thought about things in the future that he would never have thought of in the past.
See the results from a student and from a parental point of view. Everybody really pleased about the achievements and the outstanding work they've done, and the opportunities they've had throughout the course of being on the programme as well. Not only working alongside the elite of the game at Headingley, but also opportunities over in South Africa to play cricket and gain cultural experience as well. It's just been a fantastic 2 years for the students.
Having a good respect in the classroom has made the respect on the pitch really good, and I think we've got on really well, and it's been a good 2 years bonding in the classroom and on the field.
I want to get into coaching and then maybe go into like a PE department in the school or somewhere. Build my way up in like the ranks. Just try and help younger people with cricket and also like education. My plans after this, I've got on board coaching with Pro Coach across the road, and I'm planning to go away to South Africa to work in a private school for a good couple of months, if not longer.